that will always bring you to a point where you know you need to straighten up is God. When I tell you that God will whoop you, God will make you fall down off your high horse and your pedestal. You see, I had a representative, as I told you all earlier, and I had to get God in my life. I'm going fast. One thing that saved me was understanding that I had a higher duty and a higher calling to my fellow man and my fellow woman than just being a disruptive person, being a mean person, and being a cruel person in life. And stabbing in the dark, spitting in the wind, running real fast, but I wasn't going anywhere. And God brought me to a point in my life where God said, it's time. You see, remember all those times you made promises? All the times when you ask God to bring you certain people, and you ask God, you're looking for this type of woman, it's almost like you got an assembly line and you put it together piece by piece, and then she show up at your door, or he show up at your door, and then all hell break loose. And then you begin to say, well, God, wait a minute. He said, but I gave you what you asked for. But then you turn around and say, well, she crazy. But he said, you didn't tell me you didn't want her crazy. You got to be specific. Because God got a sense of humor. My God got a sense of humor. Because everything I asked for, he kept giving it to me. But one thing that I forgot to put in my prayer was, God, I want her to be spiritual. You see, I never thought about forming a relationship with a spiritual person because I was already looking at the beep, 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 toot, toot. Because my perception was skewed and my perception was screwed because I had no idea of what love was. I had no idea of what a relationship was because I was the one who mimicked the movies. I was looking for a princess. I was the one who mimicked the movies. I was looking for someone perfect. And I had demands, restrictions, and conditions on how you was going to love me. But at the same time, I wasn't giving those same conditions, restrictions back to you. So if I ask for it, I got to be able to give it. That's right. Because some of us walk around and we think it's all about us. And it's not all about you, baby. It got to be about the two of us. Because sometimes you got to learn how to be passive. You can't always be the leader and the aggressive one in the house. Come on. Sometimes you got to learn how to shut up. That's right. Sometimes you have to learn how to let your partner drive. Yes, Lord. The car sometimes. Yes, Lord. Sometimes you got to learn how to be vulnerable. Being vulnerable does not mean you're weak. Being vulnerable means you're smart. Because I know how to navigate through this relationship right now. And also what you got to do, you got to get out and you got to be around people that you see are healthy in other relationships. You have to get away from negative people. Because if you're around negative people all the time, guess what's going to happen? If you out, you throwing manure. And you out there, you throwing manure. Eventually, it's going to get on the person standing next to you.
Talk to us about, this thing is so rich. I want to engage something you said. Raise your, if you're in a relationship, just raise your hand. Are you working on one? All right, good. So talk to us about how couples surround themselves with other couples. Because what I'm finding is, it's not surrounding yourself with other couples, it's surrounding yourself with healthy couples. Yes. You know what I'm talking about? How do you do that? How do you decipher? How do you know the difference between a healthy couple and an unhealthy couple? To surround yourself. What does that look like? How do you do that? How do you manage that? You understand my question?
Miss Hightower said it while she was up here, and she said it best, so eloquently. You're going to see the light in the person.
Yeah.
I want you all to look at this. What does this look like? It's a bottle, right? What's in it? Water. Or so you think.
Amen.
This is you, the bottle of water. This is spirit. Moving back and forth. And if God says, I made you in my image, and I will dwell and be with you. And if I am a child of God, and if God is in me, nothing else can be around me because the Spirit won't allow it to be around me. The Spirit of God in me is going to run everything negative away from me. And if I know that God is in me, and I have God qualities and God powers, I can speak you away from me because I know that you don't mean me any good in this circle that's around me. You are most likely 6 people around you. And if the people around you aren't encouraging you, if the people around you aren't afraid, cannot tell you the truth about yourself, these are not your friends. If the people around you can't pour into you, and if the people around you aren't helping you in some fashion, these are not the kind of people that you need to be around as far as couples. When you're looking at couples, these couples are growing together. There's excellent books out there. I read this book called A Conversation with God. And in The Conversation with God, it tells you how you can talk to God and ask God questions. Don't be afraid to talk to God. Don't be afraid to ask questions about people that are trying. They're going to be attracted to you. You're going to draw people to you, Bishop.
I hear you.
You and Rashad are going to draw people in your circle that want to be. All you have to do is watch.
Yes, watch.
Don't be afraid to argue. But there are rules to arguing.
There are rules.
So when you're looking at couples and you're trying to form a healthy relationship with friends and couples coming around and you are sitting at the table having dinner and you see a disagreement break out, you'll sit right there and then me, personally, within 10 seconds, I can size that couple up.
Yes.
Not to say that they shouldn't be together, but to say that they need to do some work on their relationship. You need to do some work on your relationship. The relationship is not about you and your partner. The relationship is about you.
That's right.
Understanding yourself, your emotions,